What are the more sinister possibilities, the reasons they're doing the fracking?
There's lots of possibilities. It could be that they want to deliberately poison the water table, to poison the people, because of this Agenda 21 story that's going about, that they want to have a world cull the population of the world down to 20 million, I think it was, from 7 billion. So if they succeeded in that, they could start all over again.
Well,
you know, the elite of each country, they could start all over again.
Are you saying the Prime Minister and everyone is against the people?
Definitely. Our Prime Minister Cameron is a criminal and should be brought to justice for crimes against the people and humanity and the earth.
And how do you make sense of what the police are doing?
I don't make sense of it at all, because it makes them as corrupt as the government if they're protecting a corrupt government. And that's what's going on.
So we're at Balcombe and you're in an area that says Druids, and you're going to tell us who the Druids were.
Oh, they were the ancient rulers of this country, the ancient spiritual people.
So what did they do? I mean, did they just give people blessings?
Well, no, they... say if there was a conflict in a tribe, someone murdered one of the tribe, they would probably call in the Druids to be the judges, to weigh it all up to see if it was indeed true or not.
So they were like the village elders?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
And did they have medicinal knowledge?
Yeah, they know herbal lore, all the magical properties in herbs to do healing.
So how did they come to disappear? How's it? They didn't continue. What finished them off?
What allegedly finished them off was the Romans at Anglesey, when the Druids were meant to make a final last stand at Anglesey, but I don't believe that they made a last stand. I believe they were just slaughtered by the Romans.
So the Romans, for some reason, saw them as enemies?
Well, not at first. It was because the Druids encouraged the Boudica revolt. Boudica herself was a Bandai, a Druid.
So how long have you been living as a Druid?
About 6 years.
Yeah? So what was life like before that?
Just living in a town, in a box, like a prisoner.
And now, how is life?
Oh, life's perfect. It's where you're with nature.
So do you travel around as a group? I mean, I guess you could be confused with Romanis or Gypsies.
Yeah, we could be confused with it, but there's no confusion.
But you drink alcohol?
Mead, occasionally.
I see.
Which is music for ritual.
So how is it made?
With honey, yeast, and water. Preferably filtered rainwater.
So it doesn't look like the Druids are going to become very fashionable in Britain.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a fashion. It becomes a way of life.
Not a lot of people are turning towards this way of life.
I wouldn't say that. I think a lot are. I think more and more are. More and more people are actually opening their eyes and seeing what's going on this planet. I.e. governments of the world, what they're actually doing, instead of what they're saying to people isn't actually true.
So do you have gatherings of Druids?
Well, yeah, there's many different Druid orders and groves, and they all do different things. There are Druid camps and things like that. And just because in history they say that the Romans slaughtered all the Druids, I don't actually believe that. I believe a few escaped and the word of mouth kept on going, the tradition kept on going, even to today. Yeah. If it didn't, we wouldn't know what we know now.
So how many Druids are there here in Balcombe?
I'll say there's at least 7 or 8 here.
And did you all come together?
No.
You just met up here?
Well, we met up here, yeah, but with what's going on with this fracking, and all the stories coming out of America, what's happening in America. Well, we as Druids think it's sacrilege what they're actually doing to the earth and the water.
So, your personal story, did you train or study at any point?
Well, I did the Bardic course with Obod, the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. But it's all about, it's money orientated. I mean, you can buy Druid books and learn from that. But you don't necessarily need books to learn from. You can go out into the wild and look at nature, look at the trees, find the herbs. It's all out there.
Okay, that was very interesting. What I really meant was, though, in the past, 20, 30 years ago, did you live a professional life of some type?
I just did seasonal work, farm work.
Is that book of StoneHenge yours?
Yeah.
Well, what's your view of StoneHenge?
Oh, StoneHenge, to me, it's a sacred temple of the dead.
How old do you think it is?
Ooh. I reckon it's a lot older than they actually say. I reckon it predates what they're saying by 6,000 years.
So you're saying it's about 9,000 BC?
Something like that, yeah.
And you would say the same for Avebury, presumably?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not particularly sure about Avebury, but I think they're very old stone circles. I mean, they're only finding bones and stuff like that, what they can get radiocarbon dating of. I mean, that's just the time that they were there. It doesn't mean to say that it didn't happen before that.
So where are you from originally?
Oh, I was born in Manchester, but I've been all over the country, all over the world.
All over the world too?
Not all over, practically. I've been to Iran, Pakistan.
What were you doing in Iran and Pakistan?
Ironically, my father was a production supervisor on an oil platform.
So that's what he was there?
Yeah, but not this shale, fracking and all that. He was out in the Persian Gulf.
So is Stonehenge the Mecca, the centre for Druid worship?
I would say it's one of the centres for Druids. A lot go to Avebury, some go to Killarney. There's lots of stone circles all over the country what they go to, and some don't even use stone circles. Some might use a grove of trees like oak trees or yew trees.
So are there people buried around Stonehenge?
Yes, there's quite a few burials, and there's a set of stones that were in place around the henge, which is outside the stones. And they used to be called Aubrey holes, where blue stones were put into the ground. And later on in time they brought those blue stones into the circle. And what they discovered in each of the Aubrey holes is human remains. And the archaeologists took them away, and they said that they would put them back after analysis and so on and so on. And have gone back against their word, and that they're now going to display them in the new visitor centre at StoneHenge. And this is what this petition is about.
God. It's sort of strange, actually. There's a lot to it. But there are burial mounds next to Stonehenge, too.
Yeah.
They're the King's Mounds or something?
No, there's the King's Barrows near Amesbury. But
sorry, I got that confused. There are burial mounds near Stonehenge.
Oh, yeah, all around the landscape, and some of them actually align with the stars.
So what do you think they're about?
Well, I think the burial mounds are actually, if we went right back into the Neolithic times, we would probably see burial mounds all over the country. And I think all the burial mounds represented the stars up in the sky. And at certain times of the year, the moon would come down over a burial mound, or at each side of the burial mound, or the long barrows.
But these burial mounds are also built in layers, yes? Different layers, coal and organic material?
Well, chalk mainly in Wiltshire, yeah.
Thank you.